The three goddesses were standing around when a golden apple was thrown between them. It said the fairest.
Look what I found.
I'm the fairest.
No, I'm the fairest.
No, I'm the fairest. Let's go to Paris.
The golden apple, I will give you power over all of Asia. If you give me the golden apple, I will give you wisdom and battle skills. If you give me the golden apple, I'll give you the most beautiful woman in the world. Helen.
I choose Aphrodite.
Cupid had shot an arrow at Helen to make her fall in love with Paris, and when they saw each other, they had fell in love. Achilles was foretold to be the greatest warrior but die young or die an old, uneventful life. To make him invincible, Achilles' mother bathed him in the river Styx, holding him by his heel. Because of that, he was immortal, unless someone killed him through his heel. The Achaean forces first gathered at Aulis. All of Helen's former suitors came to take revenge on Paris. 8 years later, hundreds of ships and thousands of men gathered to attack the city of Troy. They fought for 10 years. Achilles and Ajax were the most successful of the warriors, each capturing several cities and islands each. They famously played a board game in the middle of a battlefield, only saved in enough time by Athena. On the 9th year, the men started to rebel against the leaders because they wanted to go home. Some minor gods gave them wine and wheat, which made them stay. Apollo gave the Spartans a plague after a priest abused his daughter at the camp. Hector, a Trojan, killed Patroclus, a friend of Achilles. Enraged, Achilles later killed many Trojans, including Hector. Because of this, his mother prayed to Zeus to make the Trojans win. For the first time in 10 years, both the Trojan and the Spartan armies were equal. Menelaus and Paris fought, but neither won because Aphrodite flew Paris out of the battlefield because of his injuries. The gods, seeing how many of their children Achilles had killed, decided it was time for him to die. They guided a poisoned arrow shot by Paris to him. It struck him in his heel, his weak spot. In grief, Ajax, one of Achilles' friends, killed himself. After 11 years, it was foreseen that Troy could not fall without Hercules' bow. Philoctetes, son of Hercules, shot and killed Paris. And Odysseus, one of the Spartans, snuck into Troy. Helen wanted to go home, so they made a plan. The Trojans built a giant wooden hollow horse and snuck into Troy at night. They caught them by surprise, killing some people in the streets and some in their sleep. The Trojans had finally won and stopped the war. The gods were extremely angry because many of their temples had been destroyed in the war, and when the warriors began their journey home, the gods made a huge storm appear, confusing the warriors. Some were able to journey home while others were killed in the storm. Menelaus and Helen appeared in Egypt, and it took them another 8 years to return to Sparta. It took Odysseus and his crew 10 years.
Thanks for watching!